So you went to the local Rural King, saw this lovely Ferry Morse pre-filled seed starter kit, and thought to yourself, man, I want to start seeds this year. Well, I'm here to tell you the pros and cons of using the Ferry Morse seed starting system. And we're starting right now. The first thing to know is this box is pretty outstanding. Makes it look like it'd be super great. And then you can get a complete solution with the rest of the kit, which isn't terrible. But there are some problems with this. So the first thing I noticed with this is the fact that it's only $6. And it comes with a seed starting mix already in it, pre-filled. Dang, I must not have ate my Wheaties this morning. Oh, I'm making a mess. All right, well, that's not going to get any better, so we'll just send it. All right, so the next thing that's really great about these is like they're not terrible quality, and it comes with the underneath piece, you know, for underneath watering, and then it's no chump. Like, I mean, it's a pretty good quality tray. Like, it's not terrible, and it's only $6, and it's already pre-filled with soil. So I mean, you're walking through Rural King, you're like, man, that looks awesome. That's a pretty good deal. That's what I did. Another thing that I've noticed with it is that since it doesn't have a dome, we can avoid that. But like, it's only $6. It's cheap, but it's not poorly made. And there's an easy way to add a dome to this that I do, and I mean, it worked really well. Like, I've already got rosemary and mountain mint coming up. So the negative sides to this is the problem that I'm having right now. And hopefully this will save you some time in the future. Just go ahead and just get it done. So, and I've noticed this with a lot of seed starters. So when you're doing seed starting, you don't want a lot of big, nasty chunks in your soil. And yes, this is not the most beautiful thing, but I legit built this morning out of just stuff I had laying around, just to show you how easy it is to build you a sift to do this yourself. So it's just 1/4 inch mesh, some cheap boards that I still had laying around, some drywall screws that I had laying around that I put together to do specifically this. So that's how easy seed starting can be. But this is like the most important thing that I have for seed starting. I have a real big one that I go through the big bags of seed starter with, and my personal soil that I make myself goes through this. So the first real problem that I noticed with the Ferry Morse seed starting mix is it all gonna fit? Don't know. Is like at first it seems super loamy. My first bucket wasn't that great. No, there we're getting it. Oh, and we're still getting some big pieces through it. Dang, it's gonna make a liar out of me today. Is that it has some big clump features that we're not gonna get to see today. Awesome. Must have been filled from the bottom of the barrel. That sucks. So one of the issues that I noticed the first time I used the Ferry Morse seed starter tray, which is $6. I don't know why I keep having to point that out. But is that the soil seemed to be really hydrophobic. There's a lot of dust to it, which isn't bad. I mean, unless you're working at the kitchen table and making a big mess and your wife's going to get up and kill you, then, you know, or unalive you, or whatever the nice way of saying it is. But so what I like to do is, and yes, the spray bottle squirts down because I drilled a hole in it to make it do that. But I like to moist it all down because the soil is hydrophobic. And then the great news is these have these little holes in the bottom. The only thing I don't like about these little holes in the bottom is there are very little holes in the bottom. So what I'm going to do is open these holes up a little bit. So that way, when I water underneath, more water can get up inside. And I'm not opening up all of them like that. Just that you'll notice when you do flip yours over that like there's holes, but there's no hole. And it'll just help it water the plants better. All right, so after you got all your holes filled, or all your holes drilled, got it cleaned, opened up, making sure it's going to be able to water from underneath, you want to dump your unchlorinated, unfluoridated water into here, which is not quite a gallon, but that was about half a gallon. Then, oh man, I'm an idiot today. Flip that over. Make sure you got good water in the bottom of the entirety of the tray. This up a little bit, like so. Give it another misting. Try to keep the dust down. Start backfilling these trays. Some of these bigger sticks as you find them, because they will mess up your germination. And after you've filled these, you want to take them and just press them down. Just the bottom layer. And this will help it wick water from the bottom. That's why we opened up the holes, so the water can fill in and it can suck the water in. Push them down like so. After you've got all your soil pushed in, just come through, give them a light mist. I'm just kind of like saturating the top of it. I'm not going like I want to see standing water on it as I come through. Help pack it down a little bit better. Started getting the water got done. A little bit more soil on top. I have plenty of soil here. I'll just kind of fill these outside trays and then just pass my hand over the top. I don't want to press that down too much. I like how those get through the sift, but then, oh boy, what did I get? I thought that was too long for that. So if you remember at the beginning, I said one of the downsides to this one is that it doesn't come with a lid. So this is what I do. You make this plastic wrap work. Pull some out. Set the tray on top of it. Get it pulled down. Take my handy dandy scissors. You piece of junk. There we go. Spread it over it like so. There you go. And then I'll set this on the heat mat. I don't immediately plan on this. I set it on the heat mat, let the soil get up to at least 50 to 75 degrees, depending on what I want to plant in it next. And I mean, it's typically, so far, like I said, I've already got rosemary to germinate, which can take anywhere from 7 to 28 days, depending on soil temperature, light intensity, so on and so forth. And then I've got mountain mint, which was only a 7 to 14 days, but I mean, it was still cool watching it come up. So the video, and you're wanting more information on gardening, more introductions to more of the Ferry Morse, so on and so forth, the do's and don'ts. And I mean, if it's worth the money or not, to be honest with you, I think the Ferry Morse is. I'll use this tray next year, so on and so forth, to continuously grow more plants. And it was only $6. It comes with enough potting mix. I've got another bag of potting mix up in the back to go through, but I mean, I think it's worth $6, but it does take more work than just adding water to it and putting it on a heat mat or whatever to get it to work properly. So, because I've got 2 trays back there right now that I had no idea what I was doing, and it took me a minute to get to this point where I have one that has actually planted it. So, if you like the video, you're looking for more information on gardening, you want to see me try different things, let me know in the comments below. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any notifications from the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.